Afternoon and welcome to the Rundown. I'm your host, Captivating Christian, and here are some of your top stories for today, the 15th of February. Biden aides feel the heat on all sides as the White House equality vow marches forward. President Biden faces pressure from outside groups to address the inequalities in America. And in some other political news, hated by mostly or absolutely everyone, Kentucky's columnist has just put a nail in Mitch McConnell's political coffin. And Texas Republicans are being mocked after begging President Biden for help. But didn't Texas want to secede? And slavery has never been properly addressed. Reparations bill now reintroduced to Congress. And a California mother of 4 passes the bar examination after studying for nearly 9 years. And the nation's oldest juvenile released after 68 years behind bars. And St. Petersburg college student killed in Alabama followed his own path. Dallas Wolf grew up with strong St. Petersburg ties, but his academic and athletic skills took him out of Florida. He was fatally shot months away from finishing a degree at Alabama A&M. An LAPD cop shares a photo of George Floyd with the post that read, "You take my breath away." Let's get to the news. As President Joe Biden seeks to address the racial inequalities across the United States, he turned to his former Congressman Cedric Richmond to help him keep a promise and end discriminatory practices ranging from housing to voting rights. A task complicated by the risk of alienating Republicans whose support is needed on key legislative priorities. Richmond, a Louisiana lawmaker who led the Congressional Black Caucus during the Trump administration, now heads Biden's Office of Public Engagement, where he and his counterparts for outside groups and activists are ready to hold the president accountable for his pledge to address the nation's deep-seated racial division.
I ran for president because I believe we're in a battle for the soul of this nation. And the simple truth is, our soul will be troubled as long as systemic racism is allowed to persist. We can't eliminate it. It's not going to be overnight. We can't eliminate everything, but it's corrosive. It's destructive, and it's costly. It cost every American, not just who felt the sting of racial injustice. We are not just a nation of morally deprived because of systemic racism. We're also less prosperous. We're less successful. We're less secure. So we must change, and I know it's going to take time, but I know we can do it. And I firmly believe the nation is ready to change. But government has to change as well. We need to make equity and justice part of what we do every day, today, tomorrow, and every day. Now, I'm going to sign these executive actions to continue the work to make real the promise of America for every American. Again, I'm not promising we can end it tomorrow, but I promise you we're going to continue to make progress to eliminate systemic racism, and every branch of the White House and the federal government is going to be part of that.
Biden promised to fight inequality across all policies. Biden's campaign on healing the nation's political rifts and working across the aisle to restore civility in Washington, D.C. But many Republicans have rejected the president's call to address racial disparity. Even the notion that institutionalized racism even exists, setting up the potential persistent conflict for Richmond to negotiate. Civil rights groups are demanding structural changes that would help address the racial economic disparities and the rights moving forward that include passing a new voting rights law to expand ballot accessibility, even as Republican legislators attempt to enact measures that would tighten the rules on voting. In a scorching new column in the Lexington Herald, lead columnist Linda Blackford accused McConnell of standing by while his beloved Republican Party is turned into a death cult. The history books will be clear about those who coddled and engeared Trump's madness in the name of political power, and in the end, he made sure that Trump will face no penalty or justice for whipping up a storm of white supremacist anger that attacked the U.S. Capitol and killed a police officer. McConnell gave a pass to white supremacy, she said, a pass on attacking the U.S. Capitol. He gave so many passes to Trump that we are left with a country that is sick in the mind and body. A massive winter storm system hit Texas and Oklahoma this weekend, leading to serious traffic accidents and power outages. In response, Texas Governor Greg Abbott begged President Joe Biden's administration for help for his state. This prompted questions and wondering why Texas officials turned to federal government and the existing president when they were just attacking him weeks previously. The Texas succession bill was announced in January, and the Texas Republican Party endorsed the succession bill. Senator Ted Cruz and John Cornyn, Republican Texas lawmakers, also asked for help, drawing ridicule from those in New England who recall Cruz voting down funding for states after Hurricane Sandy. On Juneteenth in 2019, lawmakers met with Black activists and scholars to discuss H.R. 40, a bill to create a Reparations Commission to examine the impact of slavery and the possibility of compensation for the decades of enslaved Africans. During a hearing by the House Judiciary Subcommittee on the Constitution, Civil Rights, and Civil Liberties. By the end of 2020, the nation was still being run by Donald Trump and his Republican enablers, who were all about making America great again by maintaining its traditional roots of being a land of the white people. Senator Leader at the time, Mitch McConnell, expressed that he didn't support reparations for something that happened 150 years ago. He followed that statement with basically saying that no white people alive today own slaves. I'm sorry with the Civil War, and of course, but we elected a black president. The Reparations Committee would study the history of slavery, the role the federal and state governments played in supporting slavery, and racial discrimination against the decades of enslaved Africans. Economic issues are at the root of many of these crisis issues impacting the African American community today. The number 40 in HR references the 40 acres and the mule, a broken promise made by the government to newly freed enslaved people at the end of the Civil War in 1865. So H.R. 40 still has an uphill battle in the journey of congressional approval, and it's worth the reminder that this isn't even a bill that promises reparations, but one that allows a commission to examine the possibility of reparations. A California mother of four recently passed the bar after studying for 10 years. Celebrated in a viral video, Evelyn Yuba has dreamed of becoming a lawyer for years, facing obstacles and putting her dreams on the back burner to start a family. Yuba took the test in October to receiving her results in January the 8th. Yuba plans to start working as a criminal defense attorney, supporting low-income residents of under-resources and marginalized communities. Joe Ligon is the nation's oldest yet longest serving juvenile offender, and he is being released from prison after serving a 68-year life sentence. Ligon pleaded guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder in Philadelphia back in 1953, where he was only 15. He was part of an assault and robbery spree that killed 2 people, but he denied killing anyone himself and said that he was the scapegoat as an out-of-towner. However, he was sentenced to life without parole. In 2012, the Supreme Court decided and found that the sentence of life without the possibility of parole for juveniles to be cruel and unusual punishment. But Pennsylvania did not apply the ruling retroactively until a subsequent 2016 decision by the High Court ordered the state to do so. And in 2017, he was resentenced to 35 years to life with immediately eligible for parole. Hey, this is Captivating Christian here to remind you to tune in to Politics and Wellness every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Politics and Wellness every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Dallas Wolf, 22, was less than a semester away from graduating with a degree in psychology, his family says. The senior honor student was fatally shot outside of a Huntsville apartment back in January 18th. That the accused shooter faces a capital murder charge. Was outside of the common area of Wolf's apartment. The Alabama news sites reported that Wolf had complained about the situation days before police say Burns shot him at the complex front gate. And be sure to join Jay Wilson, Rebel Son, The Official King Payne, Conscious TV, and Captivating Christian this and every Thursday at 6:45 Central Standard Time, 7:45 Eastern Standard Time for the Gentleman's Panel. And the LAPD is back in some hot water. The LAPD is conducting an internal affairs investigation to determine which officer shared the photo of George Floyd with the caption, "You take my breath away." The police in question appear to work out of the NYPD's Hub Division, where the image was being passed around at work. The department believes the original post may have been taken from the work of an LAPD employee. The LAPD is back in some hot water and will be conducting an internal affairs investigation to determine which officer shared the photo of George Floyd with the caption that read, "You take my breath away." The cops in question appear to work out of the LAPD's Harbor Division, which is where the image was being passed around at work. The department believes the original post, however, may have been the work of an LAPD employee. It appears that a member of the LAPD saw that the post was being shared and was offended. They contacted the brass, and it triggered an investigation. Internal Affairs is now trying to get to the bottom of it, looking to see where the post and who shared it. Once again, thank you for watching CCN Midday News. Hope you enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also hit that notification button so you will never miss another news update. Have a great day. Peace.